You know what time it is. You tuned into the damn podcast. Welcome to another episode of Superhero Deep Dive. I am, of course, your host, Jason, and have a good episode scheduled for you today. Now, let me get my normal disclaimers out, and I will get right into it. The information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or may not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superhero. Also, if you guys have any questions, comments, critiques, requests for future episodes, fun facts you'd like to share, anything at all, even if you just want to say hello, feel free to. If you're watching on YouTube, I am under YouTube under Superhero Deep Dive, and please comment, like, subscribe, share. Help me grow the channel because that would be amazing. Also, if you're listening to me wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, hello. And if it's not where you listen to your favorite podcast, I'm sorry, I'm listed everywhere that'll let me. For some reason, I don't think I'm listed on Apple Podcasts, and I don't know why. But whatever. And if it is a Tuesday or Thursday throughout the day, you can catch me on Outworld Fleet Radio on the internet, which is www.un-conventional.com/radio. Also, I post memes up on Twitter and Instagram throughout the week. I just started ramping that back up, and you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram, and you never catch me on Twitch, let's just be honest. But that's under Super Deep Dive, and use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive. Okay, and you can send me an email at b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. I think that has covered all of my bases. What do you guys think? Am I good? Alright, I'm good from here. Okay, so this week I am talking about Brother Voodoo, with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming up quicker, sooner than later, all that good stuff. I wanted to cover Brother Voodoo, and he was actually a request. Let me see if I can pull up who requested him. Because that would definitely be a lot of fun. Let's see here. It was a request via YouTube by, I'm stalling because my computer is taking a long time. Let's see here. If I were to name someone on YouTube, I would probably name him Anton Issa. I believe that is the person, because they usually have good conversations with me about my podcast. So I believe they requested Brother Voodoo. If it wasn't you, and if it was someone else, no offense. I'm going by from the hip information. So all right, but yeah, I'm going to talk about Brother Voodoo. Very interesting character. His real name is Jericho Drum. He was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and he left to study psychology. In the United States. He returns to Haiti. And he discovers that his twin brother, Daniel Drum, who is a local, and please forgive my mispronunciation if it is mispronounced, Hungan, which is a voodoo witch doctor. And if that's not the correct term, please forgive me, because I am very ignorant to that. So, I'm doing the best I can. But he discovers that he's dying. He is a victim of a voodoo sorcerer who claims to be possessed by the spirit of the serpent god Damballa, based on the Loa Damballa. And just before Daniel dies, Daniel makes his brother vow to visit his mentor, Papa Jambo, which Jericho does, and becomes Jambo's student. After studying under the aged Hungan for several weeks, Jericho gains a greater mastery of voodoo practices than his own brother. Becoming a Hungan in his own right, Papa Jambo then performs a rite that summons Daniel's spirit from the dead and joins it with Jericho's own. So almost like a firestorm kind of thing. Having fashioned a worthy successor, Papa Jambo dies. So that's pretty much all Jambo's story. I can't help but feel that there was a little bit of stereotyping done with this. I could be wrong, but it just, I don't know. It just feels like what are some of the most stereotypical names, and we'll put them in there. But taking the name Brother Voodoo, Jericho challenges the priest who goes by the same name as his god, Damballa, and his cult. With the help of his brother, Daniel Drum's spirit possessing one of the cult members, Jericho removes Damballa's artifact of power, which is a Wangol, causing Damballa's snakes to turn on him and evidently destroying Damballa's cult. Brother Voodoo becomes Hades' Hungan Supreme and Champion, and establishes a sprawling mansion as a base of operations. He places the Wangol in a safe, and its combination known only to Brother Voodoo and his manservant Bamboo. So yeah, just take that all in. Alright, Brother Voodoo encounters a scientist named Baron Samedi, an artificial zombies created by the terrorist scientist group AIM, the original Black Talon, Mama Limbo, and the Dark Lord cult, and the Hungan Drumaboo. I'm sorry, I'm killing these names today. Having established himself, Brother Voodoo goes on to help other superheroes, including Spider-Man, Moon Knight, as well as the Jack Russell Werewolf by Night, which we did another podcast on before, The Thing, and Black Panther. Brother Voodoo eventually succumbs to the lure of power that Damballa's Wangol represented. Upon Jericho's wearing it, the god Damballa takes over Daniel's soul, burns down the mansion, and apparently slaves Bamboo. He travels to New York City to attempt to take over the mind and body of Earth Sorcerer Supreme, Dr. Strange, who eventually frees Brother Voodoo of Damballa's influence and reconfines the evil god to the Wangol. He later becomes involved in the supernatural Howling Commandos operation of the espionage agency S.H.I.E.L.D. and registers with the government in accordance to the Superhuman Registration Act. While Black Panther was fighting Eric Killmonger, Brother Voodoo revealed himself to be a Skrull when he attempted to kill Cannibal, whom he deemed to be a threat. However, the two killed each other in the struggle, and the discovery of Brother Voodoo's true form revealed the Skrull invasion to Black Panther, allowing him time to prepare. Like other heroes replaced by the Skrulls, Brother Voodoo was revealed to be alive at the end of the secret invasion. The Eye of Agamotto leaves Doctor Strange after showing him and the new Avengers nearly 30 candidates who could possibly replace Strange. Because he comes into possession of the Eye, Brother Voodoo becomes the new Sorcerer Supreme. Aided by the new Avengers, he eventually battles the entity Agamotto itself to prevent Agamotto from retrieving the Eye and gaining the power to rule Earth's dimension, and appears to sacrifice himself in an explosion he engineers to destroy both Agamotto and the Eye. So during the Axis storyline, Doctor Doom makes a Faustian deal to resurrect Brother Voodoo, reasoning that he and Daniel are the only ones who can stop the inverted Scarlet Witch from destroying Latveria. The spirit of Daniel Drum subsequently possesses Wanda so that he can be used to undo the spell that inverted the heroes and villains. He is offered a full-time role in Steve Rogers' Uncanny Avengers. He also helps Doctor Strange defeat the Empirical, a science cult based on destroying magic in every dimension. So, he's staying busy. Like, he's taking on big things. You just never hear about him. When Daniel Drum sides with the Hand to help them retrieve and resurrect the recently deceased Bruce Banner as a new agent, Brother Voodoo requests the aid of the rest of the Uncanny Avengers in stopping the Hulk when the Hand sent him on a rampage. As he makes contact with the remaining essence of Banner in the Hulk, the Beast of the Hand offers to resurrect Daniel if Banner is left with them. But Brother Voodoo states that he will choose his brother in the form of his fellow Avenger rather than Daniel, grimly stating that Daniel has made his choice, simply allowing Banner to die free from the Hand's influence. Black Panther instructs Brother Voodoo to take Kazar, Zabu, Black Knight, and Scarlet Witch with him to investigate strange occurrences in the Savage Land. They arrive to find a slain Tyrannosaurus as Scarlet Witch senses they are surrounded. The group is attacked by the Cotati, and they fight them until the Cotati eventually unleash Man-Thing, who they have under their control. As Ventry states that the Savage Land and the world will be theirs, Kazar is shocked to find that the Cotati have gained control of Shanna. With Brother Voodoo and Scarlet Witch immobilized and Black Knight in prison, Shanna tries to get Kazar to join them, as Matthew states to the Black Knight that they have to do something. Dr. Voodoo, who is Brother Voodoo as a Sorcerer Supreme, used a trick to do a mental trick. That sentence made no sense. I'm sorry. Scarlet Witch does the same thing as she tries to free Shanna from the Cotati's control. As Ventry notices something happen with Scarlet Witch, Brother Voodoo takes control of Man-Thing to free Matthew and Black Knight. Scarlet Witch brings Kazar into Shanna's mind, where he learns that some creatures in the Savage Land are dying and trees are falling. When Kazar had been stabbed by a Cotati using Black Knight's ebony blade, Brother Voodoo exited Man-Thing's mind and worked with Scarlet Witch to extract Kazar's soul from the ebony blade, as Shanna the She-Devil uses the same waters that resurrected her on Kazar. So that's a lot of history. Like I said, he's been in plenty of things. He's done a lot of big things. You just may not know about him, or he seems easily forgotten, and he shouldn't be, because quite frankly, there's not a lot of voodoo related heroes out there. And voodoo's got kind of a weird connotation anyway, doesn't it? I mean, it's got a weird stereotype. So being able to show a little light on it and show some good on something that has, I mean, in the Judeo-Christian America, it's deemed relatively evil. So, to show some good on it is, it's a positive thing. It's a good thing. But let's talk about his powers. Brother Voodoo possesses numerous mystical and quasi-physical powers derived from the Loa, the spirit gods of voodoo. He can easily enter into a trance-like state in which he does not feel the heat from fire or his skin becomes impervious to burning. He can also control flame and lower life forms. Brother Voodoo can mystically create smoke accompanied by the sound of drums. The smoke conceals his presence while he is able to see through it, and he has the ability to command certain living things by a mystic sort of hypnotism, most effective over animals and plants. He can summon the Loa to request transport for himself and others instantaneously if they deem it necessary to his mission. Which I kind of like that, because it's kind of up to them at this point. Brother Voodoo can also summon the spirit of his brother Daniel from within his body, doubling his own strength. He can send the spirit to possess other people's bodies, and then has total control over their actions. Brother Voodoo also has more mundane escapist talents, once entering Strange's building, but not through magic, but through the chimney. He has extensive knowledge of voodoo, which is like Valdone. I don't know, I'm sorry. But voodoo, thanks to training by Papa Jumbo, as well as conventional medicine and psychology with a PhD in psychology. He wears a mystic medallion that serves as a focus of his powers, and as a focus for his contact with his personal Loas, and he has at times employed conventional firearms. Brother Voodoo's appointment as the new Sorcerer Supreme has bestowed upon him not only the power of the Eye of Agamotto, but also the Cloak of Levitation and the Books of Knowledge, which were formerly in the possession of Doctor Strange. So there's a lot there, right? He can do a lot, but I like how they made sure to put it. It's through the voodoo, through stuff like that. He's got to get permission to teleport. And that can easily not happen if that's the case. So I like how they're kind of putting these in, because they're being a little bit more thorough. They're not being so reckless with the character. Like, he can do this and this and this. He can do this if his Loa his spirits that he talks to, if they deem it necessary. So it can't be used selfishly, which is cool. Some fun facts. Brother Voodoo makes a cameo appearance in Doctor Strange's ending in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He also appears as a playable character in Marvel Avengers Alliance, which I really missed that game. I liked that game, and I wish it was still around. Brother Voodoo also appears as a playable character in the Doctor Strange DLC pack for LEGO's Marvel's Avengers. He also appears as a playable character in Marvel Contest of Champions and Marvel Future Fight. And in 2003, the Sci-Fi Channel announced it was developing a live-action TV movie and backdoor pilot called Brother Voodoo, based on the character. Hans Rodionov, I don't know. Hans was announced to write the screenplay set in New Orleans of this Revel Productions and Marvel Studios co-production, executive produced by Revel head Ben Silverman and Marvel Studios Avi Arad and Rick Unger. However, nothing came of development afterwards and the project was abandoned. So tell me, what do you guys think of this character? What can we do to this character? Do you think the character has potential? Let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments. And please, once again, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Help me grow the channel. I want to get to 500 subscribers. I ultimately want to get over 1,000 subscribers. But if I can get to 500, I'll do a giveaway. And I think it'll be great. And I don't mind. Other than that, what do you guys think? Let me know on Twitter or Instagram under Super Deep Dive. You can leave a comment on one of the pictures and be like, hey, for this video, I thought this. You send me an email at b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. Let me know what you guys think about the character. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you my power expansion. This is the part where I kind of go into where they make a good movie, where they make a good TV show. Last episode, I think we did a comic and have something evolve from that, like a comic and TV show. Or animated series, I believe. What do you guys think of this character? I'm dying to know. I would love some back and forth. But I've got a pretty unique idea for something with Brother Voodoo. So hear me out. Let me know what you think. Fairly recently, there was a comic called Strange Academy. It was within, I want to say, past maybe 2 or 3 years. So relatively new in the realm of comics. It was a bunch of younger, more inexperienced magic users that would be trained by Doctor Strange and other magic users. And I want to do a spin-off show loosely based on that. And when I say loosely based on it, I don't want us to do, direct comic adaptations. There's going to be some room. There's got to be some wiggle room because we're just now delving into the whole magical realm of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this definitely should be tied into it. So I have Brother Voodoo. I don't think he'd necessarily be good for a movie or a whole series. Simply because there's a lack of strong fan base and strong stories. Like he's been part of things, but he hasn't had his own stories, He's been a part of things. So of course there's always room to expand. With the one-shots, and I think he'd be great at it. But I think this is where we need to start. I think we need to start with one-shots, and then, if he gets good reaction, we can develop something from there. But let's have Brother Voodoo one-shot in this whole Strange Academy thing, and we can feature different magic users, but his is the one-shot where he has like a super quick origin telling. Throw him into some kind of mystical supernatural adventure, and this way he can use his fan base that he already has. Being a Marvel show, you're going to get a lot of other viewers that may not know the character, and then they can become fans. So you'll have a lot of new adventures and still have room to grow if the need arises, like if he gets a good reception, which I think he would. Brother Voodoo has been revived and repowered so many times that there's definitely a need for him to have some kind of presence in the MCU. He just needs to be able to integrate, or we just need to be able to integrate him in a way that will fit his character. Like, this is a guy that hasn't really taken too many prominent roles, but at the same time, he shows that he can hang with anyone out there. I mean, at one point, he did become the Sorcerer Supreme. So let's do the same here. Let's integrate him into the MCU slowly and see how the fans take to him. Like, have him be in New Orleans. I love that. I love that idea. But yeah, let's have him be in New Orleans. Let's have him, do some stuff. Get called to fight something in New Orleans. New Orleans is kind of a mystical place anyway. We can definitely do something. Or we can, what if in the Strange Academy that all the one-shots, like, they're fighting these people, but it turns out there's something going on in the magic realm that's bigger, that may bring them all in under some other kind of movie or some other kind of special, like to connect them all. Like, say he fights some evil voodoo witch doctor, Hungen, whatever it is. And once again, please excuse my ignorance in that. But let's have him fight someone evil and show that there's a good side to it. Show that, you can do these things. And then we find out that someone was pulling the strings for that evil Hungen, whatever it is. So, then, other characters can be introduced, and then they can all come in, and who knows, maybe Brother Voodoo will be popular enough with that. We definitely have the writers out there that can do it. But who would I cast? I was looking, and someone immediately came up in mind. Without a doubt, I'd immediately cast Leon Thomas III, who, if you don't know the name, he's the dude from Victorious. He had the braids. He was super talented, could sing and dance and all this stuff. He had a great physique. He's a decent actor. He has a look that fits the character arc. And he could fill a role where he doesn't have to be too old and not naively young either. Like, he doesn't have to be a teenager. Because at this point, he's probably in his, 20s or 30s? So he can be a character in late 20s, early 30s. Someone that went and studied and got a psychology degree. And went and came back home because his brother was in trouble. And now he's back in, learned what he had to learn, and now he's in the States. So late 20s, 28 to 30 something, 33, He can fit that. And he's shown some range before. I don't know what he's doing now, but there's a place for him. I mean, there's a character that he could definitely do. So I think we should do it. What do you guys think? Did I make a good casting choice? Do you have other people in mind? If you do, let me know. Once again, you can reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter under Super Deep Dive and use the hashtag superherodeepdive. You can email me directly at B4itall, so B4itall at yahoo.com. I get quite a few emails from that, or you can comment with any kind of questions, critiques, requests, your opinions. If you have other fun facts, I'd love to hear them. Anything else you'd like to share on this, I would absolutely love to hear it. If you're watching me on YouTube, or if you want to on YouTube, I'm listed under Superhero Deep Dive, and you can comment, like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. Let's do this. Let's bring this up. I am not sponsored by any of these comic companies, but I have this great vision that someone in one of their offices is like, we want to do something. Oh, look, someone did a little YouTube slideshow on it. Let's see what they have to say. oh, this is a great idea, let's develop this. I think it'd be amazing. And if you are one of those people, you have my utmost permission on any of my videos. It's a blanket statement because this is a community first and foremost of the love of superheroes. So if we can have a part helping, we are all for it. I mean, that's what heroes do, right? All right, guys, I'm going to head out from here. Let me know what you think. Next week, I'm excited about this one. I have Vixen lined up, so it's going to be a great show next week. In the meantime, everyone, be blessed, be happy, be safe, be smart, and if you're not smart, don't get caught. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.